All right. Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Shave and a Haircut. I'm your host, Kenneth Tramble. My co-host is out for today, Latanya Davis Tramble. Um, Today, it's going to be a topic we're going to continue to talk about. It's getting kind of to a point where it's like affecting all kinds of kids, all ages. Anyway, it's going to be the topic. It's going to be bullying. Before we get to the topic, I'm going to play my normal song that I always play. A song. Um, Try to get everybody blessed and in the mood. So I don't own the rights to this song, but love this song. So here we go, right here. I own the rights to this song. Every time, guys, when you try to do stuff right, stuff always happens. Just continue to kick it, though. Continue to go with it. All right. Like I said, I didn't own the rights to that music, but I like to play a little something every time before I start talking to our viewers. Go on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel and like my channel, share it, like this, subscribe to my channel. Shave and a Haircut, subscribe to my channel, like it, share it, and repost it if you can for me. The topic of the day is bullying. Continue to stay on this topic because it's getting rampant and it's getting to the point where we got kids that are going further and beyond the scope of bullying to the point where they're going to other places and doing things that they shouldn't be doing as kids, and they need to, kind of stay in their lane because it's still a crime, even no matter how you do it. They're taking it to the extreme with some of these kids as they're depressing and giving them some depression where there's point where they want to try to look up stuff on the computer and try to see what happens, try to take their life. And so we got to understand, that is affects that bullying affects that child in a way that no other child ever. In fact, that's basically worse than getting, I would say, a whooping. And so I want you guys. Hello, Mr. Ramon. How you doing today, brother? And it's it's different, man. And way these kids are reacting to the bullying, it's really nerve wracking because now we got kids that are to the point where they feel like they got to take their lives, to the point where they're not telling their parents. It's affecting their schoolwork. It's affecting their social life. It's affecting their way of growing up. It's to the point where most of these kids now don't want to go to school. They hate going to school, hate getting up in the morning time. They can't wait till the summertime because all throughout the school year they're being bullied. And here's the problem: if it's being brought forward to the school system, is there a mechanism or is there something in place to stop it? Do we have any type of I don't know, disciplinary actions or something that can be done to stop these kids? Because apparently it can't be, because if a child gets bullied one time and you bring them two together, that should stop, right? But it doesn't. It continues on to recycle throughout the year, throughout the days, and you pick it on folks, and I don't get it. I'm thinking it's got to be some mechanism put in place in the school system that if your child is the bullier, I don't know, maybe take some Saturdays out, give them take some of their weekends from them, put some pressure on them. They used to have, I don't know if they still got Saturday seminars, but they used to have, but put some pressure on them. Then you put some pressure on them parents to get them over there on time, then that'll put some pressure on the kids, the parents' kids, to also let them know that the stuff they're doing is wrong. And so that's one of the problems we got right there. We gotta have. It's very. Mr. Ramon King says it's very bad because it's not just the bully they are dealing with. It's also classmates reminding them. That's right. You're absolutely right. The classmates are actually reminding them. I'm gonna put it up in the chat right there where he says, and that's absolutely right. When people are being reminded of what went on and what's going on with them, and that's even worse, Mr. King, because you know that's like you always used to say, when you pull that band-aid off, but that sore's still there. That basically what it is. You got a sore. Somebody always saying, you remember the time he talked about you? Remember the time he pulled your pants down? Remember the time he slapped you on the back of the head? Remember the time he took your school money, took your lunch money, and all that kind of stuff, man, is repetitious in a child's mind. We got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, these are kids. These are babies. These are babies we're dealing with. These are not, um 10th, 11th, 12th grader. These are like third, fourth, fifth graders. These kids are just getting in their school life. And then you having this go on, that's gonna make a child not want to go to school. If you're the kids out on the playground and you got folks out there bullying, we got to as parents, if you got some off days, start volunteering at these schools and during recess time, go out there and be a school monitor. You see something happen, hey, hold, don't stop that. That's not how it works. And you could be a role model in the school system. We got to start helping out in somewhere along the line in the school system, to the point where if they see we're paying attention, then maybe they'll start paying attention. So you don't want to wait till that day and it's your baby come home and he's saying Huckabuck jumped on him just because Huckabuck talked about it. Huckabuck talked about his mom. Huckabuck slapped him in the back. Huckabuck took his money. Huckabuck did this. We have to be, as parents, to understand at that age, those kids, man, that they're impressionable, their thoughts are different, they're wound different. The things happen on a regular basis in school system. We as parents got to realize that things happen on a regular basis in the school system. And as I said, the person that being the bullier has been bullied before. All he doing is paying back what happened to him, which that your child experienced, which is not right. Like I said, I'm a firm believer of Saturday seminar, and I'm talking about not just one Saturday. You gotta do it to a point where these parents, it hurts those parents enough, but they gonna tell their kid, hey, another one more of these here, man, you gonna have a problem. Matter of fact, when you get one, you should. If I call somebody calls here and say, hey, your child is bullying somebody, I'm gonna nip it in the bud right then and there. I'm not gonna ask for what he did to my child. And that's most of the problem that we do. What did he do to her? What did he do to him? Yeah, do something. My child don't do that. Newsflash, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's child does stuff. Newsflash. Everybody's child does stuff when you're not around. He might be a pillar of good health, might be an off the boy at the house from 3:30 to 6 in the morning, and might get to the school at 7 and raise all devil hockey sticks. You just don't know. You can only let your child leave out of there with a good thought and a good mindset, saying have a good day at school, stay out of trouble. That's the only thing you can do. That's the only thing you can tell your child. The only thing you can tell them. Everything else, you gotta assume that they learned it, they learned it and they listened to it and they're gonna do what they had to do. Everybody that think your child is the pillar of good health, he's done some things he just ain't got caught and you don't know anything about because you did. There ain't nobody on this feed can say that they hadn't done anything. They just didn't get caught, or they did stuff and nobody know about it. When you was a kid, we was more curious back then than they are now. They was in the house. We was all outside doing stuff. So without a shadow of doubt, we got into some turmoil, into some stuff that we shouldn't have done. But back on that bullying thing, man, it's hard for a child to function. It's hard for a child to get up in the morning time. It's hard for a child to take a test. We got testing, we got leap testing going on. Now just imagine having that on your mind, got to take that test. Somebody the day before say, hey, I'm gonna get you a recess. You go home with that on your mind and you come to take that test. You're not focused. So I'm encouraging every parent, every time your child get to the house, you sit them down and ask them, hey, how was your day? Is it anything we need to talk about that went on? Let your child realize that you're that safe haven that they can come to at any time and talk to. If that happens and you develop a rapport with your child, it should work out. I'm not saying it's gonna work out because kids are kids. That I don't know why these days they feel like they can't tell us nothing because they think we're gonna spaz out, especially when it's wrong. But we'll come back to life, come back to reality. But you guys got to realize we didn't get to this age and just jump straight to our 50s, and 30s, and 40s, and 20s, and y'all 11 and 12, and we skipped all those days, skipped all those years. We've seen that, we've been there, we've got the T-shirt for it, and all we're asking is you guys let us help you realize your potential. But our kids, I don't know why they think we can't focus on the stuff that they're doing. It's like they think we I don't know. They think most kids tell me, they don't understand us. They don't realize what we going through. How can we if you don't talk to us? How can we if you don't talk to us? Mr. Ramon says in most cases the bully always has an issue. Sometimes they can't read or they are not as smart as the person they pick on. So they pick on the smart kid or smaller kid to hide their shortcomings. Yep, you're right. That's correct. But so if that's the case, that means the school system has to find some type of way of fixing that, right? because most of the time stuff happens, and here's what I run into sometimes. Kid gets bullied in the PE room, and then the kid comes to his next class teacher and tell the teacher. The teacher said it didn't happen in my class. You got to take care of it with the other. That's not how it's supposed to work. That's supposed to be addressed. That's supposed to be a piece of paper being written up and sent to the office. They got cameras in every part of the schools now, except the bathrooms. So, and if it happened in the gym, you ought to be able to see it. And then if it happened in the gym and you see it, you need to look where the principal, where's the teacher at? What position they're in that they missed the whole incident that happened in the gym. But the teachers don't stress that and don't say anything about it because it didn't happen in their room. That's not right. I need every teacher to thank every child as that being your child. So if your child came home and said, "Mama, this happened," what you gonna do? You gonna be the first one calling the school system, "Hey, my baby said this. What are y'all doing?" Right? So we're gonna define bullying. So this is a slideshow that I created. Try to help parents. It's gonna be on my YouTube channel, so you can look it up. I can send it to you. But these are some things that you look for as parents. Okay. It says, turn my mic up higher. It says bullying is intentionally aggressive behavior that involves an advance of power. It can persist over time and often target individuals with repeated actions. That's kind of like somebody coming in behind you, slapping you on your head, somebody coming behind you, knocking your books off the table, somebody coming in the classroom, pulling your hair, somebody coming in the classroom, just doing stuff random every time. It's the same thing. And those are some signs that we need to look forward to. Types of bullying. Bullying can manifest in various forms, including physical, that means hitting, verbal, name calling, social media, cyberbullying. Each affects child differently. Right. So if we say fighting, that affects your child because now you don't, especially if it's a lot of people around, you don't want to go to school. Correct? Verbal, most of the time they talk about the way you look, your glasses, your parents, uh, your upbringing. If your mom has a car that doesn't look that smoking, if you got clothes on with holes in it, all that kind of. So when you let your just realize when your child leave the house, think about what he or she was wearing, what he or she looks like, and see what if somebody would talk about it. If they got two pigtails and they sticking straight up in the head, well, of course that's gonna stick out. If they got shoes with holes in it, of course they're gonna stick out. If their clothes are dirty, of course it's gonna stick. If their hygiene is bad, of course it's gonna stick out. So we got to make sure as parents that we notice these things about our kids, and before they go to school, fix it. Okay. The impact of bullying. Bullying can lead to severe emotional, psychological, and academic consequences for children. Victims may experience anxiety, depression, and decline in academics, affecting their overall well-being. So if your child grade, and if you just say your child is making A, B honor roll, and then next semester they're C and D, something's going wrong, right? So that means you as a parent got to go and find out why your child went from that to that. And all you have to do is ask questions. Get involved in their life, be noticeable, be vigilant. Changes in behavior. A sudden change in behavior such as increased aggressiveness, irritability, or withdrawal can indicators that a child is experiencing bullying. Parents should observe any shifts in the mood, actions, as they are signals of underlying issues. So if your child went from happy-go-lucky to coming in the house, laughing and joking, to coming in the house, going straight to his room and closing the door. Coming in the house, going straight to the bathroom, closing the door. Coming in the house, went without a jacket, got a jacket on. Coming in the house with a hood on the head. That's some investigations that need to be done. Something's going on. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Unexplained injuries. That I don't even have to read that. That's self-explanatory. If your child left the house and he ain't have no bruises, and he come back with some bruises, something's going on. If your child leaves the house with no bruises and come back with bruises, that's investigation in itself. I shouldn't even have to read what that is. Most parents know to look at your kids when they leave and when they come home. When they're in the car on the way home. Before you even get off the school parking lot, especially if you picking them up. Hey, let me see what you look like. Okay. Hold on. What's that right there? Pull over to the side. That's Big Sprinkle. Look here. First of all, why I didn't get a call while this is going on? Be vigilant, parents. I mean, you got to set the standard. You got to set the tone for what happens with your kid. You got to set the tone. If you don't set the tone, they're gonna set it for you. They're not gonna answer questions. They're not gonna do none of that. All they're gonna do is just assume that you know what's going on with your child, and that's not true. And so, we as parents got to be more vigilant in what's going on, be more involved with what's going on, and allow our kids to realize that we're there for them, right? And noticeable decline in academic performance, such as failing grades or loss of interest in schoolwork, can be a sign of bullying. Anxiety and stress caused by bullying can affect concentration, motivation in your children. We all know that, right? So we got to make sure that every second, every minute, hour, we're watching our kids' grading the performances. And if they're slacking, something's going on, especially if your child A, B on the roll, all A's, and he drop all the way down to C's and D's. It's not academic, something going on. Investigate, investigate, investigate. Social withdrawal. The child becomes increasingly isolated or avoids social interaction. It may indicate bullying. Bullied children often experience fear or embarrassment, leading them to retreat from friendships and activities. That is it. If your child, like I said, is happy-go-lucky, playing all kinds of sports, being involved outside, and all of a sudden he stays in the house, I don't want to go outside no more. That requires some investigation. But we got to before we even get to that, you got to start noticing some of the signs that your child is being bullied. And kids, if you only on this feed, tell your parents, talk to them. Ain't no shame in telling mama, hey, something happened in school, I need some help. Emotional changes, anxiety, and depression. Children who are bullied may exhibit emotional changes, including anxiety and signs of depression. This can manifest a mood swing, loss of interest in once enjoyable activities, or changes in eating and sleeping patterns. How to talk to your kids. Create a safe space. A safe space that enables children to express their feelings without fear of judgment. Encouraging them to share their experience fosters trust and allows parents to understand situation better. Perfectly said. Create an environment where your kids can come to you at all times. I'm hoping every child, even my kids, can come to me for anything at any time. Know what I might, like I said, know I might not like what the situation you're going, what direction you're going in, but know that I'm gonna listen to you and hear your opinion. And I'm gonna give you mine. Now all you got to you can listen or you can't. But the thing about it is, don't withdraw to not talking to your parents, and then end up doing something that we regret as parents to see. Okay, all right. Open end questions. There we go. So just like I said, using questions like, "How are you feeling today? What happened at school today?" Invite detailed responses rather than simple no answers. Yeah, open end questions, right? How was your day? Did something happen today? How was school today? How was your classmates? Did anything happen that we need to talk about? And you answer those questions every day. Don't wait. Monday, ask them. Thursday, ask them. Next Wednesday, ask them. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, ask them. And even over the weekend, just in case they forgot. Hey, how was last week's school? Did anything happen? They're still letting them know that you think about it and you're concerned. Keep asking those questions. Active listening techniques. Active listening techniques fully concentrate on understanding each responding to your child's concern. Techniques include repeating back what they said and their feelings to demonstrate empathy and support. Repeating back what they say. So you said, Hucklebuck did what? So you said, Miss, the teacher didn't say what? You said you told the teacher and they didn't do what? Those are things you have to do. You got to do those kind of things. Encouraging friendship. Fostering positive friendship provides children with a support network, making them less vulnerable to bullying. Engaging in group activities help children feel reliable companions who can, I think, that's help them in challenging. That's correct. Encourage your kids to get in some beta clubs, um, any type of variety, whatever you call that club, honor society, stuff like that. Get them around some people that's gonna be positive, so that and get those positive people to understand. Hey, they're gonna say, hey, leave Terry Bone alone. He don't have nope. He's not that. Don't leave him alone. And if you are a friend, you're not truly a friend if you sit there and watch your best friend be bullied and think it's funny. Developing coping skills, teaching children coping strategies can. I'm sorry, teaching children coping strategies such as communications and problem solving skills equip them to handle bullying situations effectively. Skills like role playing can help them rehearse response to potential confrontational situations. Yeah, you can do that. Reporting and in being involved. That's basically what it's saying is if you are a person and you're watching your friend being bullied and you don't say anything, you're wrong. If you don't want to jump in and fight or jump in and get anything, you go tell the teacher, hey, I saw Terrence or T-Bone or uh, Ice Cream talk about Hucklebuck. And Hucklebuck started crying. I think you need to know as a teacher. Silence is the worst thing you can do. Help out your friend. Don't let your friend get hurt. Resources. School policing or school policy on bullying. Most schools have established a policy that outlines anti-bullying measures that should that measures and the procedures of reporting incidents. These policies are critical for creating safe environment, often involve education on the impact of bullying for students and staff. All this in a nutshell, it says, if you're a kid that's being bullied, say something. Don't let it manifest to a point where you think taking your life is the solution. If you are a person that's doing the bullying, stop it. If you're a friend, all I can tell you is this: see something, say something. Just think about it as if what if it was you or your brother or sister that's being bullied? Would it be funny and would it be fair? Okay. I am about to sign off in 30 seconds. I appreciate you guys from coming in. Look, parents, please talk to your kids. Please talk to them every day. And like I always say, quit yelling at your kids at night, expecting them to get good rest. Quit yelling at your kids in the morning, that they can do great in school. Your voice is the first and the last voice they're going to hear. Let it be confidence. Speak love. Speak success. Speak Christ into them. Speak hope. Speak teamwork, speak love, and at the end of the day, listen to your kids. It's been Kenneth Tramble, CEO, owner of Shave and Haircut. Until next time, see you guys later. Love you. Peace.